They lurk in the shadows, thirsting for blood, immortal, seductive, terrifying. But vampires weren't always the suave, brooding figures we see today. The truth is older, darker, more terrifying than fiction. This is the evolution of vampire mythology. Long before Dracula, long before fangs and coffins, there were whispers. In ancient Mesopotamia, demons like Lamashtu and Lilitu were feared as child-stealing, blood-drinking creatures of the night. In ancient Greece, Empusa and Striges preyed on travelers and infants under the cover of darkness. Even the Egyptians feared spirits that fed on the life force of the living. These were no Hollywood monsters. These were ancient reflections of fear, of disease, of death. Vampires were born from the unknown and the unknowable. As the Black Death swept through Europe, paranoia spread like wildfire. The dead were exhumed, their corpses staked, burned, mutilated, believed to be rising from the grave to spread plague and terror. The word vampire first crept into written history in Eastern Europe. Unexplained deaths, strange illnesses and tales of undead villagers returning from the grave haunted entire communities. In this era, the vampire became a monster of infection and sin, an agent of spiritual and physical decay. Holy water, garlic, crucifixes, the war against the undead had begun. Then came the ink and the parchment. In 1819, John Polidori's The Vampire introduced a seductive aristocratic predator. But it was Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1897 that sealed the vampire's place in literary legend. Dracula was death and desire, decay and seduction, wrapped in the cloak of Transylvanian nobility. Over the centuries, vampires changed, from monsters to misunderstood romantics, from bloodthirsty beasts to tragic immortals. Authors like Anne Rice gave them tortured souls, Stephanie Meyer gave them high school drama, and suddenly the vampire had become... From silent films like Nosferatu to Hollywood blockbusters like Interview with the Vampire, vampires took over the screen. On TV they reigned, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Vampire Diaries, True Blood, each reimagining the myth for a new generation. In games like Castlevania and Vampire the Masquerade, they became avatars of power, seduction and rebellion. What began as folklore became icon, a symbol of danger and desire. But why does the vampire endure? Because vampires evolve with us. In a world afraid of viruses, they are plague bearers. In a culture obsessed with youth, they are eternally beautiful. In an age of surveillance, they live in the shadows. They are metaphors for power, for addiction, for forbidden love, for everything we fear and secretly crave. From ancient demons to TikTok heartthrobs, the vampire reflects our darkness and our desires. So the next time you see a vampire on screen with glowing eyes and a crooked smile, remember, you're not just watching a story. You're witnessing thousands of years of myth, fear and fantasy, evolved into a legend that refuses to die. Because vampires always come back.